And just like that, we're here at the Mountain Health Co-op HQ conference room, sitting a safe distance apart with Jeff Swingley. Jeff, thank you for being here, and thank you for carving the time out of your busy schedule to talk with us today about Medicare Supplement. We're really happy to have you.
Glad to be here, and this is an exciting time for our market as well as the co-op to be able to discuss this and roll out the product.
Yeah, so let's jump right in. Let's talk about Medicare Supplement and what it means for co-op members. I know that it's exciting. You've talked with us about, hey, if you're a member or if you're thinking about Medicare Supplement, knowing that just this is something that the co-op now offers is exciting for folks. But for those that don't know about it, can you give us the elevator pitch? What is Medicare Supplement?
Great. Well, Medicare Supplement is sold by a number of insurers, and the idea behind it is when somebody's on traditional Medicare, they're after traditional Medicare pays, Part A is the hospital component, Part B is more of the physician type component. But even after Medicare processes and pay the claims for someone on traditional Medicare, there's still some out-of-pocket costs, typically. So you might have some co-insurance, some costs for other services. So the idea behind Medicare Supplement is to help pay for those costs, to get the member whole. You might hear Medicare Supplement referred to as Medigap. So it's filling the gap that Medicare doesn't pay. So that's the idea behind it. So somebody that decides to stay on traditional Medicare, take it when they age in at age 65, they can look for a supplement plan to accompany and be, join with that traditional Medicare to pay those costs. So for the co-op, this is a great initiative. We've sold products in the under 65 market. Well, now we're going to be able to offer a Medicare Supplement product over the age 65 market. So this is a great opportunity for our members in Montana and Idaho to be able to purchase this product and stay with the co-op. No longer when they meet that age requirement of 65 or older, do they have to leave the co-op. They can stay with the co-op. If they're on a group plan and they decide to go with traditional Medicare, they can take the Medicare Supplement plan and have that coverage. We're coming out with it at a good time where many Americans, this is a need. We're very competitive in the pricing component. Our agent community, many of them sell it, and so there's agents to work with, and this is just a good thing for the communities and the markets that we serve.
Yeah, that's a great explanation. And can you humanize that a bit and paint a picture of somebody who is currently a member of the co-op, age 64, turning 65, before Medicare Supplement was an option? What does that look like? So the co-op just says, hey, thank you for being a member with us. You're no longer a member. Now good luck on Medicare. Versus now with Medicare Supplement, how does that transition happen, or is it pretty seamless?
Well, members get to a point where they have to determine if they're going to stay on their current individual coverage or their group coverage. And members, I guess all Americans become eligible for Medicare at a certain point in their age. So if you're someone that is approaching that age 65, typically you'd be eligible for Medicare B 3 months before, and then you're eligible for a Medicare Supplement plan typically the first day of the month you turn 65. And so in a moment we can talk about the different times you can apply for Medicare Supplement. But so at that point, when members are looking to go to traditional Medicare, no longer stay in the individual group plan, and they're a co-op member, they had to either just take traditional Medicare, go to a different type of plan available, and that very well could mean leaving to another insurer. And so the challenge with that was, of course, we have many members that are happy being with co-op and being part of what we stand for in our organization. And we're a member-owned organization, and so it's a good mission in the community. So they had to leave us, and many of them not by choice. Now they have a choice. So they can stay on their current plan. The agent that they are working with currently in the community. They can continue to work with that agent. That agent can help them shop the products, get them signed up. They can find a local agent in their market, and so now they have a choice and can continue on.
Got it. Okay. And from a sort of out-of-pocket standpoint, it seems like for some, Medicare Supplement can save you a lot of money if you're not currently taking advantage of this. Am I understanding that correctly? That if you're sort of plodding along on Medicare right now, and you may be able to, with the addition of Medicare Supplement, save quite a bit of money. Can you explain how that works? And I've seen some grids, but sometimes it's tough to follow the matrix of, okay, how does Medicare Supplement work for me?
Right. Well, and one thing to keep in mind, this provides peace of mind for people. I always look at the Medicare Supplement plan as a peace of mind plan, because as we age, statistically you can incur more health conditions, and this is for all of us. So typically as you age, you might have more health conditions to consider, have to seek services. So if you want to have some peace of mind that as you receive those services and as you move forward through the course of life, that you can plan and budget. So with traditional Medicare, definitely the traditional Medicare covers certain types of services based on what's approved, and you see your doctor. But there's still costs left over. So for example, as another insurance plan, so if you're on a regular benefit today, an under 65 benefit, you have certain services that are covered and benefits outlined. Well, in many cases, you still have out-of-pocket. If you go to the doctor, you might have a copay. You might have coinsurance if you have a hospital stay or an outpatient surgery. So there's out-of-pocket costs. Same thing with Medicare. Traditional Medicare, in most cases, doesn't pay 100% of the service. The types of services you would have out of pocket. So what the supplement does is fills those gaps. So it doesn't mean that it's going to cover everything that traditional Medicare does, but it, in many cases, can cover the extra hospital stays, coinsurance that you would have to pay for otherwise. And so it's a peace of mind. So if somebody is on a budget, if somebody wants to plan to say, I don't want surprises, if in a few months I have a certain type of service that needs to be performed, want to know what the cost, maybe I don't want to have some big surprise, the Medicare Supplement can provide that peace of mind to say, here's what the plan cost me and here's the most that I would pay for if that type of service occurs.
Got it.
So you budget the Medicare Supplement cost along with anything else that you have going, and you can say, okay, well, worst case scenario, this is about what I'm going to pay throughout the year, and that's where the peace of mind comes in. You don't have the big surprises.
Yep. Which is the goal of insurance in general is, hey, weather the storm if the storm comes up. So if I'm understanding correctly, you mentioned that sometimes they call it Medigap. I guess I'm still confused about what the gap is. What gap is it helping to fill again?
It'd be filling the gap depending on the plan you choose. So there's standard plans. There's a set of plans that can be offered by insurers. We're going to offer 4.
Cool.
So we'll offer 4 plans, and so provide a nice variety of people to choose from. But the gap is filling the gap between what traditional Medicare will pay based on the service and what the service actually costs.
Okay.
So it's filling the gap. So if there's a coinsurance amount for a type of service, traditional Medicare covers a certain amount of that type of service. The Medicare beneficiary is responsible for the remaining portion, or a coinsurance, then that gap can be filled with a Medicare Supplement plan. So it comes behind traditional Medicare to help with those out-of-pocket costs.
Got it. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I was thinking, okay, it's all starting to come together, and then the gap part. Okay, that now.
So
makes
it's
sense.
similar to if somebody has coverages on two types of insurance.
Yep.
So, for example, if someone has coverage, say through their group employer, and then maybe their spouse has an insurance plan, and you have secondary coverage through the spouse plan. Your policy through the group employer pays primary, and then that secondary policy pays secondary, comes behind that primary plan to help cover costs. Now, there's no guarantee that it's going to cover 100%, but
Sure.
the idea is to minimize and try to cover most of those costs. Medicare Supplement works in the same fashion.
Mm-hmm.
The other benefit about a Medicare Supplement plan is there's no network to contend with. So if you have a physician, your current physician, say, and that physician accepts traditional Medicare, your supplement plan can be used there. So you don't have to worry if you're traveling or if you're having to switch a provider just because you take the supplement product. As long as your provider accepts traditional Medicare, then the supplement plan can be used. So that's the other great thing about this plan.
Yeah, simplifies things in that sense.
Yeah, and then the plans, again, are standard. And so if you decide to, which we hope you do, if it makes sense, to apply for one of our products, if you take a Plan G, so that would be one of the plans. If you're with another carrier, then and it makes sense to switch to the co-op, then your Plan G benefits will be the same.
Got it.
So the big thing is premium.
Mm-hmm.
So what we've tried to do in the marketplace is we want to make sure we have a quality product, quality service, and a positive price point. And so I think that's where people should give us a look to see, and again, meet with your agent, consult, and find out, does it make sense? If it doesn't make sense, then certainly stay where you're at. If it makes sense, but look at our price point. We feel we're going to be competitively priced, and that's our whole goal with the co-op, as we've talked before, is we're member-owned, member-governed, and we put our savings back into the member benefits and plans. And no exception here, we've done the same thing with Medicare Supplement to be competitive in our markets.
Yeah, and that is such a key point, Jeff, in sharing that it's member-owned. The savings go right back into the company. Can you talk just a little bit about, you mentioned price and being competitive on price, which when people are looking at that matrix, that's certainly an item that they think about. But there's also the customer service and the people behind the phone number on the website. Can you just talk a little bit about if folks have questions, and they're meeting with their agents, what does that look like at co-op when someone might have a question? Do they get, routed to a call center? Do they have access to the people here at the Helena headquarters? What is that like?
Certainly. So we have some different resources available. So if you're working with your agent or you meet with an agent, we have agent line, agent email, if the agent has questions. If you approach them with certain things, that agent can assist and get you the answers you need. So we have an inlet for the agents to seek information, get questions answered. From the member standpoint, same thing. So the members can call our 800 number for the co-op, and they can get routed appropriately to the correct person. With our Medicare Supplement product, once somebody applies and becomes a member, so they've been accepted, either through an open enrollment period, a guaranteed issue period, or they apply to see if they're underwritten and they can get accepted. Then we do have a customer service line the members can call to ask questions about their claims, ask questions about their premium billing, and get everything answered. We have an email address. We have a mailing address. So we have a number of resources to ensure that the member's serviced. When the member signs up, they get an ID card. They get a booklet of information. So we want to make sure they get taken care of. The big thing that I guess I would say with the co-op, maybe compared to some other companies, there's some great companies out there. What I like and I think serves us well is, even though we're a small company, we're pretty quick to react.
Yeah.
So I would say we're responsive. Doesn't mean that we're always going to have the correct answer the first time, but I think as a small company, we're responsive. We get back to people and find solutions, and I think that's key.
Yeah. And if you're in the Rocky Mountain West, like this is where we're based. I think that's important for folks to know that, this is locally owned, member owned, all of the above, which is important for some folks. Well, Jeff, were there any questions about Medicare Supplement that I didn't ask that you were thinking, Kyle, you should really ask this one? That's an important piece to know about.
No, I think we hit a lot of the high points, and I think the biggest thing is if people have questions about it or if people were considering a product, then seek information out. And again, encourage you to meet with an agent. The appointed agents we have in both states, we have many, or I guess would say the majority of the appointed agents in the state. We continue to have more agents sign up with us to sell our products, and I think that's key. I think agents are seeing that we continue to grow and continue to serve the markets well. Mm-hmm. But if you have questions, seek out information, meet with an agent, go through, explain your situation. Maybe it makes sense to stay on your group plan or the retiree plan from your previous employer. Sometimes it does. So maybe the Medicare Supplement product is not right for you at this time. Maybe there's a different product in the senior market that makes sense. But if the product seems to be something of value or might work for you, go through it and then apply. Mm-hmm. And if the price point makes sense and works, then it's a pretty easy process from there. But seek out information. I think it's a good option. And again, I like to look at it as the peace of mind plan and allows you to budget throughout the year. Many times as we move through the course of life, budgeting is important when you're younger, but as you get older and maybe you're on a retirement, certain amount of money, it's good to budget, and this allows that.
Yeah.
And so you're not worrying from month to month. If I have a health condition or a type of service, what's that cost going to be? You can set some expectations here, and that's important. The other thing I would tell you is you hit on a key point about us being in the Rocky Mountain region. We're in the communities that we serve.
Yeah.
We're in Montana. We're in Idaho. We're out in the communities. We're taxpayers. We're participating, helping with organizations, doing our part. And so I'm big on shopping locally.
Yeah.
And so I think that's an important element. Maybe we've worked together. Many of us have worked for other insurance carriers. So we have a network of people. And I think that's important when considering a product. And again, price is an important element as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all just such great info. If I were curious about Medicare Supplement, I feel like I'm armed with the right info now to start asking the right questions of an agent. And can you just quickly, if I've never worked with an insurance agent before, how would I go about finding an insurance agent to talk with?
Certainly. So you can look up on the internet in mm-hmm. the city that you live in, health insurance agents that sell a senior supplement products. So that's one way to do it. You could check with friends or family mm-hmm. of somebody that's assisted them. You also can call the co-op, and we'll help direct you to an appointed agent in your area that's doing a good job. We like to provide leads and get people connected with agents that represent us well.
Yeah.
And so if you're unable to find one in your area, or if you don't have one you're currently working with, you can definitely call us and we'll make sure we direct you appropriately.
Great. And yeah, we can put some of that contact info in the show notes for folks wondering how to get in touch with the co-op to find an agent near them.
Correct. And we also have our website. So
yep.
members can go out and find information out on our website as well under Find a Plan. And members can look at the various plans, including the supplement products.
Perfect. Well, Jeff, this has been extremely informative. Thank you again for sharing your knowledge on Medicare Supplement. Sounds like just an amazing product that we're really excited to get folks on board with.
Great, and thank you for the opportunity to speak about it, and we're just super excited to be rolling this out.